Okay, so the other thing that needs to be done for deliverable 3 is creating your sheet set. This is something we're going to start now, and it's just going to persist until we get to the end of the project. And doing it now will just make it easier at the very end. You don't have to create it, and it'll take a lot more time then, and you'll probably have a lot less time at the end of the semester. So I thought it would be good to start it now and explain kind of how to use this and why it works for us and dive into it. So we've already created a plan sheet before. You should have one, for example, from your survey site in Deliverable 2 that looks something like this. And we're going to go back and create one for the full OHIL site as well. So if I go and open my file explorer and look at my file management system, by the way, for those of you wondering how I got it to look like this, I just sorted by type or name. You can sort by name also. And because I name it with numbers and letters in the front, it'll populate that way. Other thing I do is group by type. So that way, all of these extra files that are created, if you have these two, I just create them all and then minimize it. So this is what we're looking at as well for our full site. You should have modeled at least OHIL and a couple other buildings like this. I've done pretty much all of them here, but you do not have to do that. We're going to create a sheet for this one as well. So I'm going to go to Model, select the template, go into Sheet Sets, and select Civil Imperial. Now, the reason we're using this Civil Imperial sheet is because it's housed inside of that sheet set folder, and it's something that the sheet set automatically recognizes. So there's method to the madness, and I like to just use the rectangular viewport to get in the site. I'm going to click F3 to turn off all of this object snapping. And I'm just going to drag this rectangle here, the viewport, and you can see my site. Since this is just peeking into the model view, you can actually see this image. So you can just turn the fade all the way up, or I actually just delete it and remake it if I need to. And clicked into this model space. I can see that I'm in the model space. I'm going to use my scroll wheel. Doesn't look like I can get a viewport exactly that I like. This one looks pretty good, but I can also try playing around with some of the inbuilt settings. So 1 to 40 is way too big. 1 to 60 is pretty close. How to 70, 75. We're getting really close. Does 80 work? Looks like 80 might just barely fit. And of course, I accidentally used my scroll wheel, so that way it got clicked off. Scale to fit looks pretty good. Maybe I'll just stick with this for now. But you can feel free to play with those. You can also create custom scaling. So say 80 was really close, but 100 was too much. You can actually go in and define yourself a 90 if you wanted to. So just keep that in mind. I'm just going to use scale to fit for now. I think it's good enough. So we have these two sheets, and we've used the plot command before to kind of export them. But what we're now going to do is basically create a sheet hierarchy within Civil 3D that organizes all of the plan sheets you have across multiple files. That's the important part. In a regular project, you will likely have many files. You'll likely reference files that have survey points, one that have GIS data, survey points that have maybe parcels for land if you're doing anything in like neighborhoods or real estate, and another file might just have your storm pipe network. So all of this is stuff that Civil 3D can do, and a lot of these will be in multiple files. So what a sheet set allows you to do is keep track and open those different plan sheets really quickly. You can rename them all in one place, and then you can also plot them all together, and it'll output as one file. And that's the real power of a sheet set. So we're going to make one here. Again, you should have two files open, one from Deliverable 1, one with Deliverable 2, with two plan sheets, and we'll add on to these in future deliverables. So if I just type in sheet set, it should come up as this kind of new window. And we're going to create a new sheet set for this. So I actually don't want this to be docked. It's okay there. And in here, we need to create a new sheet set. So I'm going to go here and click New Sheet Set. I am creating a sheet set right now from existing drawings. So I'm going to have that selected and click Next. And the name of the new sheet, this doesn't really matter. We're going to play around with all of this later. So I'm just going to call the sheet set my 2025 CE 2010 project. You can call it whatever you would like there. I'm just gonna find a place to save this. I'm actually gonna go out of the automatic folder that it saves it in, with this like really deep into AutoCAD stuff. And I'm actually just gonna go where I have everything saved into the project tutorial folder, and I'm going to create a new folder here called sheet sets. You can do this in the drawing sheets folder too. That's totally okay. I just want to have everything in one place. So I'm going to save that right there. Click next. In terms of choosing layouts, this is where you can go ahead and import the layouts we've already made. So that's 1C and 2B. So this is going to be a little bit difficult to find, but Civil 3D, my TA folder, this tutorial, and they're in the drawing sheets folder. So I'll just hit OK, and it's going to import the drawings from here. Just going to hit confirm here. You don't have to do anything here. And now you can see I have this project made. So now that I have a project made, I need to add files to this. So we can do that, I think, here. Sheet selections. So you can create sheets here if you want, and publish, which is what we're going to use here in a second. But I think we can also right click on this and click import layout as sheet. So here is where we can browse for our drawing files. So I am going to go to where I have those here, and I'm in 1C and 2B. So in 1C, I'll click on this and click open, and you can see I have the option of importing layouts from this file. I want just this D-size file, so that's the one I just made here. So I'll import that. You can see it got added to the sheet set, and I'm going to do the same thing with the 2B. So notice that the 2B tab is open, but I'm not even on it, and even then I can go here and import it from the sheet set manager. Open, and I have that survey plan sheet in 2B. So I'll import that, and now you can see if I click on 2B here, for example, it'll take me automatically to that file, and if the file isn't open, it will open it automatically and take you right to that plan sheet. So it's really helpful for organizing plan sheets. So that is part 1 of this, and in part 2, we'll go over how to customize some of the automatic formatting that you see on sheets.